Hello and good morning out there. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Hoops Talk. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to those of you out there still with family. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're watching on Instagram television at Mike Dup, whether you may be joining along on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or if you're watching along with us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe at Mike is Kinda Funny. Let's just dive right in. Lots of Christmas Day action yesterday. Plenty of basketball. Loved it. Shout out to all the basketball fans out there that were snuggled up in their Christmas Day onesies, their ugly Christmas sweaters, watching their kids open Christmas presents. Maybe you opening presents yourself. No judgment here. Hopefully you had some basketball on the television. We had basketball going all day on my end. We made sure that we had the ESPN app signed into. We made sure we had everything signed into. We weren't missing any basketball on this end. Anyway, diving right in. In my opinion, and I'd love to hear from you, whatever channel you may be watching on, feel free to jump in the comments. Three most exciting games, in no particular order, had to be the Lakers-Clippers game, the Celtics-Raptors game, and then on top of that, the Sixers-Bucks game. I felt like those three were the most entertaining games of the Christmas Day action. Again, if you disagree, feel free to jump in the comments and let me know. I felt like the Lakers-Clippers game, along with the Celtics-Raptors game, might have been the two most competitive matchups that we saw. The Warriors-Rockets game did have a little bit of intensity involved as well, but it's hard to pick a game most entertaining when you've got a guy taking 30 shots to score 20 points. You can keep that. Other than that, like I said, in my opinion, those were the three most entertaining Christmas Day matchups. One thing that I did notice, a lot of volume shooting yesterday. A lot of guys going 1 for 5, 0 for 6. There's a couple of guys, in MVP consideration, going 0 for 6, 0 for 7, 0 for 8. We won't throw any names out there, but if you were watching Greek Freak, then the 7-footer had a tough day against Philly. And if you were watching the Christmas Eve Day show, if you were watching the Christmas Eve edition of Hoops Talk, then we discussed that, and we talked about that being a possibility. The Philadelphia 76ers showing up for a big game and being ready, because they were on opening night when they showed up on opening night against Boston. And again, Christmas Day, you put them on the main stage, and they were ready to play. So hopefully you're paying attention out there. I know we all love to criticize the Ben Simmons jump shot. I know we all like to talk about how inconsistent the Sixers are. I just want to make sure we give them credit when they are doing well and winning games on the schedule that maybe you didn't think they had any business winning, or maybe you did. Either way, I still feel like you win the games on the schedule, you've got to get a heads up, especially against the former MVP and that top team in your conference. Looking ahead, got a doubleheader on TNT tonight. I believe the Jazz will play the Jazz will play the second half, the late game of the doubleheader. I believe they play Minnesota. And then in the early game, got a Southwest showdown with the Dallas Mavericks taking on the San Antonio Spurs. That could be a very interesting matchup. In my opinion, I believe the Dallas Mavericks are going to have the San Antonio Spurs are going to have their hands full with the Dallas Mavericks as they're looking to bounce back. And at first, they're done with their Eastern Conference road trip, and a nice Christmas Day present on the side. Luka Doncic is anticipated to return tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. So Luka Doncic we could see Luka back in action after an extended absence due to that ankle injury. We could see Luka back in action tonight, with or without Luka. I still believe it'll be an interesting matchup. The Dallas Mavericks are at home. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off on TNT. Now, a few quick hitters to know about the Dallas Mavericks. They have struggled at home this season. I know we've given them their credit, so don't come for me in the comments. Whether you're watching on Instagram at Mike Dup, feel free to like and share. Whether you're watching on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, we appreciate it. Whether you're on YouTube, liking and subscribing at Mike is Kinda Funny, we definitely appreciate that. Please don't come for us and tell us how the Mavericks deserve their credit, because we've been giving them their credit. We just want you to have all the facts and information. They've struggled at home this season. They're right above 500 in home games. They've been a lot better on the road, as we've noticed, on this Eastern Conference road trip. As we've noticed, they've been a lot better on the road. Now, here's another piece of information. They're undefeated in the division. And with the Rockets' loss yesterday, they have an opportunity to close the gap. They trail the Rockets by 1 game in the Southwest Division. So they might head into this matchup against the Spurs with a little bit more motivation, is all I'm saying. They might have a little bit more motivation with their leading MVP superstar candidate returning. And then on top of that, they've got an opportunity to posture themselves to move up. They've got an opportunity, like Curtis Mayfield says, to move on up. So let me know what you think about tonight's action. Let me know what you thought about yesterday's action. Feel free to like and subscribe at Mike is Kind of Funny. Again, whether you might be watching on Instagram, television, on Facebook as well. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day.